guys, so today I'm having the opportunity to speak to a young man doing tremendously well in the UK or in London. His name is Nana Bedu, and he's inspiring lots of young people, a lot of black young people to be better versions of themselves, making a difference, changing the narratives, and making sure that they become prominent people in society, not just students or blacks or normal people, but also have unique abilities to aspire for greatness. Today I have the opportunity to talk to him. His name is Nana Bedu. We will be speaking to him later. Do join.
So we're going to head up to one of our other buildings, to the digital hub. Edgar interviewing. We get young people into work, and essentially the young people who have finished university or don't know what they want to do for work and so on. We have a program that supports them, and Edgar over there is interviewing some of the young people on there, and then we work with businesses and put the young people into those businesses, not just leaving them there, but we mentor them whilst they're in those businesses so they can learn and understand about their self, but also understand about the business. And then in the end, you don't have to stay in that business. You can go in there and be like, this is not for me. And so we come back and we look at what else is for you. It's because it cannot just be about going to get money, because you almost lose yourself if you chase money. We want them to find their purpose, find out who they are, and then we feel like that's when you get the best person for any organization. And then also you want a happy person, and you get a great job done. So that's what we're doing with Edgar's doing at the moment to help our people. Yeah. We're the one of the boss.
Hi guys, nice to meet you.
As you what you speak here, I think was
Is Naomi Donko. I am a sports development officer here at Badu, and so we have a program launching today. It's called the Level Up program, and it's mainly targeted towards females that want to go in towards like the corporate sporting industry aspect, and also the sport, like being an athlete themselves. And so we're just trying to make sure that we create opportunities and make sure that they know that corporate settings are for them as well, and if they want to be an athlete, then they can be an athlete.
yeah. So how did it start?
Yes.
I'll say it started through a growth and a need. I'll say I saw how our community, particularly in the UK, were being treated, but also how there wasn't really being supported in understanding where their purpose was. And so as I started to discover that for myself, I was like, how can I share that knowledge? And then you get to meet amazing people like Naomi from when she was young, and know that if you nurture, educate, support, empower and build, they are the future. So that's how it started. There's a lot of issues in the UK, as you know, like everywhere else in the world. But essentially I feel like we are the key to doing it. But also my faith drives me. That's what I think when I started to discover my faith a bit more, I put that into the work I do as well, and everything that I do.
So you nurture young people from the age of 14 or 13?
Oh no, we actually start from younger, maybe from 3 years old.
Yeah.
From 3 years old right through. So it's not just a different it's different moments that they join in, but we start from very, very young and they go right up to 30s. Like to the different pathways from early engagement right up to education, to employment, to whatsoever, to life, to when they have their own family. How do we support them in knowing?
Okay. So one will ask, why sports?
Why sports?
Yes.
So we feel like sports is the quickest way of understanding and navigating yourself. It's the first time you panic about doing something. It's the first time you learn about doing something. It's the first time you fail about something. And it's also, I feel like sports as a sector, there is something for everyone. So we're not even just thinking about the person that plays on the pitch. We're talking about the journalist. We're talking about the writer, the person that books the plane, the person that writes the check, the accountant, the sports lawyer, the physiotherapist. There's so much within sports. The producer. So that's why sports was important. I feel like you get to find yourself.
So how do you recruit them? How do you get these kids? Do they come to you? Do you send letters around, you go to schools. How do you do it? How do you do it?
So we work in schools anyway, as a company, but also it's word of mouth. It's those who've had a positive impact will tell somebody else and say, hey, do you want to send your children? But also kids talk to kids, because a lot of our organisation is run by young people. So they'll talk to them and say, this is what's working. But also people come naturally because of who they've seen, who's thriving. So when they see someone in your own area, in your estate, in your community that's doing really well, you want to know, how comes you move like this? How do you talk like this? And they'll say, go to Badu.
Okay. I think I read where most of your students even gain admission to university than the normal schools.
Yes.
How do you do it?
So, and I think it's through the work and it's the empowerment aspect. It's making sure that people have a self-identifying factor about who they are, what they want to do, and they want to run their race. I don't find it coincidental that young people are achieving higher than the national average expectation of education, because they're set up in a way, sorry, my phone's calling, but they're set up in a way where they want to run the race, they want to thrive, they want to win, they want to do really well. So I think that's why they do well. But we provide spaces for learning, education. We do programs that intervene in the sector, in the culture. So bridging the gap in terms of educational tuition. We provide free tuition for them as well to make sure that they can keep running that race in educational, but whilst developing them, the person as well. That's how we do it.
Okay, so have you seen any of your students or your kids in a position where you stand and say, wow, I made it?
Every day.
Our coaches, so Joel works here in the media team. Lamin is a coach in schools. Jan was on the media team, but he's now advanced to a different organisation, which is amazing, where he's working. Olivia now works for NFL. She was here on the media team. This is Philja. She's one of our young people. She's on the Badu Way, and she comes and she coaches netball, and she also helps with our camps and any clubs. And this is Denise, so she's the head of Women in Sport. I work alongside her, and we make sure we put women at the forefront of sports, making sure that they're included. So this is a picture from our triathlon that we did, and I was actually the only female to do it. Denise was our manager, organizer. So yeah, that's us here. This is Wesley. He's on the funding team, but he's also a musician. So he makes music, and he actually does it upstairs. So let's head up. So we had a meeting in here yesterday, so it's a bit unorganized, but this is our space. So here we do podcasts. So the walking group, the older lot, they come in and they do a podcast here, just for the community to update them, anything that they want to talk about. We offer the space and they can come for free as well. This is what we do most for our meetings, presentations. We've got photo shoots as well. And then this is our studio, the recording studio. So people can hire this out at a very reasonable cost. They can come make their music, the producers can come in, work on the computers, help them develop their songs, things like that. The people in here before was Forwes and EC, so them two are the funding team, the person I showed you downstairs. And